All right, guys. So I may be looking at actually finally taking an actual position here on ES. We've accumulated here almost all morning. So you guys can see there's a lot of built up volume here showing us there's accumulation inside of this range. We also have the volume base point of control here being at 57.91, which is going to act as basically like a resistance range for us. And you can also see we've bounced off of this value area high. Now I'm going to be looking for a possible breakout to the downside past this value low, just simply because of the way this market structure is actually forming, where we're forming lower and lower, we're accumulating, and it looks like we're going to distribute to the downside. There's a greater probability for that. What I'm going to be looking for, of course, are imbalances. I'm going to be looking for aggressive selling to actually come in, but I want to see this aggressive selling come in here under these 57.79s where this value low is here as well. If we look at the time-based point of controls and we look at the actual market profile charts, what we'll see is day after day we've consistently headed lower and lower. So that gives us a sign that we're in a bearish market condition. So basically, what I'm looking out for here is if we could see some form of either a stacked imbalance, which we're starting to kind of see right now come into the market. So I'm actually going to look to take a position here. If we could see some more aggressive selling actually come in, looking for that breakout to the downside here. So I'm going to be just watching price. I'm going to increase my position size a little bit here. I'm currently decreased in risk by 50%. So I'm going to be looking for this breakout to the downside. So yeah, we got some more aggressive selling coming in. I'm going to go short here on SPX and on ES, especially with these stacked imbalances that came in here around the 78s, which we use stacked imbalances to actually look for that confirmation that we are getting that breakout to the downside, especially after so much accumulation here and the amount of times that we bounce off of this area here as well. So my stops are going to be above this candlestick high because we shouldn't break back above the value high or the value low at this point, and we shouldn't break back above the 57.83 with the stacked imbalances. The stacked imbalances should confirm that breakout, keeping our risk very small on this position. And I'm going to be looking for price action to move back down into basically yesterday's valued area low, which is going to be 57.56 over here. Going to be looking for a breakout down to those levels here. So currently I'm up floating. I'll tell you right now. Change my time frames here. Go on the 5-minute. I'm gonna lower this. All right, so my average entry, which you guys could see my entries being here, I'm currently floating $6,000 in profit. So my average entry is going to be 57.76.5, which is about right here, 57.76.5. My stop loss, I'm going to go on the 5-minute time frame, is going to be just slightly above this candlestick high. So I'm currently floating right now 0.75 R in profit, and I'm looking for price to dump down, which I just got out on futures. So I'm done with my scalp there on futures. I'm going to keep holding SPX. I'm going to be looking for price to come down into this previous value area low here at 57.57, 57.57, right about here for just around a 2.75 R multiple, which is not bad at all for a breakout, which I'm currently floating right now. I'm going to keep my thing here. I'm currently floating right now $18,000, $19,000. Obviously, my stops are going to go break even. So that's why we use order flow. Once I saw those stacked selling imbalances actually come into the markets here, that's when I decided to execute myself into the shorts here, which on the footprint charts, I have a imbalance indicator, which is going to be right here. So this shows us a selling imbalance here at the 57.72s here as well. And then we also have the stacked imbalance here at the 57.80s as well. So once I saw those imbalances come in under the value area low at the 57.80s, when I decided to execute myself into the shorts. Because again, like the thing about specific people, and if you're specifically only trading price action, is, and by the way, I'm going to continue to actually hold this position unless I can see a really big buyer come into the markets where I'll just close it because I'm going to be looking for price to come down into targets here. So we're already up 2 points. We're almost at TP here. We're literally almost at TP here. So the thing about people who only use price action is it's very difficult to determine the breakout because it's like, okay, well, we're breaking out here and then price pops back up. We're breaking out finally down here, price pops right back up. So, unless you're using order flow and you're looking at the footprint charts, the areas of liquidity where price action is accumulating and looking for different things like stacked imbalances, then it's going to be very difficult for you to actually be able to catch and confirm these breakouts because a lot of the times here, again, we had these passive buyers continuing to push price up, absorbing the aggressive sellers' positions here, which is what causes that absorption to begin with, which we're starting to pull back a little bit here. I'm not really too concerned because it's not like we had a really large buyer actually come into the market and we're starting to see price push up because of it. It could just be a normal pullback, it could just be normal price action. We're still seeing sellers become very aggressive here, but I still want to see if we can get that little flush back down into the 57.75, which is going to be yesterday's value area low, which is going to act as our new support force, which, as you guys can see, we were like literally a tick off of that area. So as you guys can see, my current position here, I'm floating $17,000 in profit. I'm not really emotional towards the profit. Again, if the trade works out, then fantastic, but I still want to see price come down and hit that 57.75s here. I'm still watching. We got a pretty significant pullback here. We were literally so close off of targets and we just started to pull right back up. 75. We'll see if we could continue to flush back down. Of course, we were getting a really big rejection down near the 62s. So, we did see some aggressive buying come down towards 62s. So if we actually see price come back down towards 62s and I don't get stopped at break even and we're starting to see price reject the 62s down here where these aggressive buyers came in, and that's kind of where I'll close the position if we start to reject that area again here. So I'm just going to watch the footprints. So we're still pushing down. Again, it's a big patience game at this point. See if price can come down, but definitely the 0.3 or 0.4 are multiple that I was looking for the amount of profit I allow price to pull back and basically eat away. For me, it's definitely not worth it in this situation. But Again, I'm sticking to my targets here. We should see price revisit those 57s, generate some liquidity in those areas because 57s is going to be a super important area from yesterday. Again, there's no like huge red flag, like a really big buy where there was very obvious absorption down here that would have made me want to close the position. So we've came down and revisited where these buyers came in here at the 63s. I don't want to really see any hesitation here. I want to see aggressive sellers come in and push price through this area because the 63s clearly was where buyers stepped in before. So we're starting to see a little bit of rejection from that area. So I'm going to consider closing here. I'm trying to be as patient as I can here, but I'm not going to allow myself to give too much back to the market. Yeah, there's even an imbalance there as well. Again, if sellers are in control, we should see price continue to push down, which so far, I mean, the market sentiment overall shows that. We're still looking pretty good here on the 5-minute time frame. As you guys could see, we're still looking very good for that continued breakout. Honestly, I think we can probably even break out a little bit lower as well, but I'm not trying to be greedy here. No, I want to take profit here at the value area, or yesterday's value area lows. We don't really have like much transacting going on here under those 55, so maybe we can even push down even lower here. We'll see. If price can get down into the 57s again, then I'll be looking out for, again, aggressive selling, selling it, stacked selling imbalances, different things along those lines. But most definitely, I would like to see now new aggressive selling come in, push price lower, because we don't really have like much volume being transacted here right now. I want to see sellers accept these lower prices. If we find acceptance through these lower prices at the 57s. Got some good selling coming in. Starting to see sellers become a little bit more aggressive here. We do need to see that, let me make this a little bit wider. That break to the downside. We just flipped bullish here when sellers got super aggressive, which shows us signs of passive buyers still sitting down here at this range. So I'm going to play it safe and secure it, although we can come back down and revisit those 57s. I'm going to play it safe. Like you see, look, the amount of aggressive selling that came in and price is still pushing up is definitely a red flag for me. So, you know, I just decided to actually secure the position. So secured around a 2R multiple on this trade, which is not bad for a breakout. Couldn't really get that full 2.7R, but that's completely okay. That's not the end of the world. Other than that, I mean, the trades worked out pretty well. Waited all day, never took the shorts here, never took the shorts here, and then finally took the shorts when I started seeing those stacked selling imbalances come into the market. So it shows us acceptance of newer prices. So that's like the big thing about trading breakouts, especially for those of you guys that are not trading breakouts yet and you want to get into order flow to confirm these breakouts. It's something that is super crucial and super important. You guys should be getting into order flow. Like, you don't have to really change anything about your overall trading strategy. Order flow, looking at the footprint charts, market profile, volume profile, and maybe even like a delta footprint chart as well, is only going to give you a deeper understanding whether your trade is valid or not, and if you can execute or not. And on top of that, it will give you a better placement and a better idea as to where you can get in the markets or you can get out of the markets, making your entries a lot more accurate, also shortening your stop losses in the process, and also widening your take profits as well. So, you know, definitely getting into order flow is something that you should be getting into moving into 2025. I mean, it's only going to help you, and I promise you, you could do it. You just really have to learn it. And then after you learn it, it's really just about application and watching it and reading it every day, looking at different trade examples, understanding the markets itself. And it's not necessarily, and I know when I first got into order flow, I was looking at and reading every single number, but it's looking for specific signals inside of the markets. Like, you don't have to look at and read every single number, I promise you. Like, it may look very complicated, it may look very very like Chinese to you, but if you remember when you first got into trading, you had those same exact thoughts, and now look at where you are now. So I promise you, you can do it, and you should get into trading order flow, because it's only going to make you a 10 times better trader, because you're understanding true institutional flow and you're understanding true liquidity inside of the markets. So anyways, guys, I mean, that's going to be the trade for the day. I'm going to call it a day here. Just go on trades, close positions. So as you guys can see, I've made $15,000, $15,360 today. Gave back about 6K worth of profit on that position, but I still secured 15. Again, it's predetermined risks. There's certain risks that I don't want to take in the markets, just like on that very first attempt to actually hold my position, which I'm going to go back to this screen, which, as you guys could see, I made $15,360 today, live account, and that's just on that portfolio. So when it comes down to, again, certain risks inside of the markets, I was already up like 22, 23K, saw price come all the way back, almost stopping me for almost break even, and then price action continued to go down. So again, you know, there's a lot of trading psychology involved with positions like that as well. And I was very de-risked. Typically right now I'm trading around 30 lots on SPX, which is a lot. The average risk for that one trade alone on 30 lots would be about 15K. Decided to de-risk on the breakouts because, again, they're breakouts, so I always de-risk on breakouts. On bounce plays, I'll always continue to add risk onto the table, but not necessarily with breakouts itself. And as you guys can see, this is why I just decided to secure down here, because we still have those passive buyers coming in, and we saw rejection of those lower prices. We're starting to push back up, which we could push back up temporarily and then come back down. That's always a possibility. But again, I wanted to take my money out of the table and realize that's what most traders won't do. So anyways, guys, I'll see you guys in the next video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one.